Good morning, agents. Road Warrior here in the Link Weaver, my motorhome, and I am ready for another day. Yesterday was really long and I was really tired after, but I managed to, I think, rest and recuperate from that, so I feel okay now. I'm breaking in my new tea kettle, which is going to provide me with a couple of thermoses of hot water so that I can make tea on the road today. Today we're going from Lincoln, Nebraska to Ankeny, Iowa, just outside of Des Moines. So, should be a pretty straight shot. The problem is, there's a whole lot of green that I want to deal with. So, here in Lincoln, there is a pretty much permanent green field that some very dedicated enlightened agents keep up. And I'm here to do as much damage to that as I can. So that's the plan today. Basically, waste their time, use up some of my gear, and hopefully end up with a pretty good set of blockers if I'm very, very lucky and they don't block my blockers. Now, I've heard that these enlightened agents are pretty good at keeping these fields up, so this might be a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to certainly try to do as much damage as I can. And if they stop me from throwing blockers, then so be it. But that's the plan today. My co-pilot Munchkin is exploring the cab a little bit. Not sure why. But he'll make appearances later in the video for sure. What else is there? Oh, right. In the description, you can find a link to my Patreon, which I would really appreciate if you could donate $5 a month to me. It helps me make sure I can continue to do this stuff in the future, because right now I don't have a job, and that is good for my ability to play Ingress all day, but not so good for my ability to pay to play Ingress all day. Because diesel's expensive, if you didn't know, and mortgage and RV payments are not cheap either. All that said, oh, by the way, the field that I threw yesterday, if you missed that video, make sure you check that out. The field that I threw yesterday is still up. It's made 5 checkpoints somehow. Yeah, it's 4 layers of 300-some thousand MU, but I guess it's not a high priority for the frogs to take down, or they don't want to drive as much as I did. I don't know, but I love it when that happens. I mean, it seems to happen to me a lot that I get a field up that I was never expected to get up. I was like, there's no way this is gonna go. There's no way this is gonna fly. And then all of a sudden it's up and it stays up all day. I don't know why. Maybe somebody's gonna start driving this morning and take it down before the noon checkpoint, but if not, then I'll certainly let you know what's going on with it later in the video. Boy, I would really love it if it made it to the 5 p.m. checkpoint. That would be hilarious. And actually, I'd love it if it made it even farther, because it has the potential to unseat my largest MU times days stat. So right now I think that's sitting at about 410,000. So if this field makes it longer than like a day and a half, then it's going to be the largest field lasting for the longest time that I've ever done. So that would be great. It'd be funny, but I don't know if it's realistic. We'll see. Anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. I'm going to get on the road to Eagle, Nebraska, which I think is the first anchor set for the permanent green fields in Nebraska, and I'll take you along for the ride. So, stay tuned. Okay, agents, I'm here in Eagle, Nebraska, and I've just taken down the anchors for the green field here. I was warned by the locals that She's a Hulk, who is a local agent, would follow me through town and put up whatever I tore down, and boy, they were correct. She's a Hulk, by the way, was very nice. I gave her an agent card. Somebody else was in the car with her. Don't know who that was. They did not introduce themselves. But yeah, always good to see an agent in the field. especially somebody dedicated to their craft. She said, "Oh, hey, do you like the fields?" And I said, "It's a little sloppy for my taste." She was like, "What, the big fields?" I was like, "Yeah, you've got links everywhere. It's terrible looking. And skinny. It's terrible. But what are you going to do?" Let's see. I'm just making myself some tea, and then I'm going to get back on the road. There's a couple more anchors kind of on the outskirts of town, and then move on to whatever's next. I have a list of stuff I want to hit, so I'll just keep moving, and I'll see you at the next anchor. Bye-bye. All right, folks. After a little bit of driving north, I'm at Parker's Smokehouse. 150 years combined experience. It's pretty cool. Stopped here to kill something, and then also I'm gonna make some tea and stuff. Say hello to Munchkin. Hi, Munchkin. How you feeling? They had some music playing outside, so I had to make sure I was away from that before I started recording. Otherwise, I'm going to get copyright strikes. Also, as I was standing there killing the anchor, a car drove by with a dog that was making like seal noises out the window. He was very happy about being in the car. And I hope Munchkin's also happy about being in the RV. Looks like it. All right, I'm going to make myself some tea, and then I'm going to head to Ashland, which is the next big set of anchors. So I'll see you there. Okay, folks, making progress here. We're getting to the point where we're at the outer layers, and I've done some good damage so far. As She's a Hulk did predict, the National Guard portals are inaccessible. So I can't get those down. The good news is they don't block my blockers. So if I can get the rest of the stuff down, I should be able to block these fields in theory. Now, there is a tricky part of this because I have to kind of go and take out the outer layers first and then start taking out some of the inner layers and then throw blockers from there. Just because I know once I take down the outer layers and everything else is down, I'm pretty sure that She's a Hulk is going to start throwing again. So I need to make sure that I have that sort of Eagle, Nebraska area still covered, but then I can take out the outer layers that are blocking some of the blockers I want to throw, and then I can go back to the inner layers and throw backwards towards Lincoln. Now, this is all a very convoluted way of saying I have to do some things out of order, which is going to make the day a little bit longer. Now, the day is already fairly long. It's noon. So this has already taken a pretty good part of my day, and I haven't really made a whole lot of progress towards Des Moines. So I think once we're done with this, we're probably not going to do a whole lot else, and it's just going to be straight to Des Moines and call it a day. That being said, this is a lot of fun, just messing with the Enlightened. It's definitely funny. I had one Enlightened ping me in game and say, "Your stats are unimpressive at best." And I was like, bro, this is not the first time a 13-year-old has insulted me because he's losing a game. So think about that next time you mouth off in calm. And yeah, Munchkin's pretty chill. I'm going to make myself some lunch and some tea. I'm going to get back on the road, and I will hopefully be able to throw these blockers. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see. See you in a bit. All right, folks, I'm here at the Nebraska Crossing Shopping Center, which is where the last layer of this green field is anchored. The plan is there's two portals that have links coming off of them that are blockers but are not anchoring the field. And then the farthest one from where I just parked is the actual field anchor. So I'm gonna just go through, kill each of them, and when I kill the field, I'm gonna use an ADA to just immediately flip that portal blue. And once that's done, I'm gonna link back to my campsite where I stayed last night. Because for some reason, that's a link that I can make. So once that happens, I will have blocked the players, the Enlightened players in Eagle, from rethrowing the field immediately. And should be able to run around and throw more blockers as we go. At least that's the theory. But once I do this, I feel like it's gonna happen very quickly and I wanna move fast, so I wanted to record a little message sharing what I'm doing before I do it. I've got a whole bunch of blockers planned, and I'm just basically gonna throw backwards as I go towards Omaha. I haven't even made it to Omaha yet, man. I probably should speed things up here if I want to get to my campsite at a reasonable hour. But I'm gonna get to it, and I'll come back and let you know how it went. See you in a bit. Well, agents, after traveling a little ways down the road to try and throw more blockers, second I got here, the campground portal that I was going to use got blown up. So there you go. That's the end of that saga. I tore down all those fields and they're just going to put them back up. Etch a sketch, right? So it goes. She's a Hulk. Good job. It was a good fight. I got down all the portals, but you got down my blockers. That'll do it. Let's see. Next stop is, well, at this point, it's, you know, I've spent most of the day on this project and there's still 2 hours to drive to my campground. So honestly, I'm not even gonna stop for uniques for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna go and like stop at a couple gas stations and get to the camp. So that's the plan. Cause it's almost 2 now. So I got a jet if I'm gonna get there before 4, which would be my preference. So back in the driver's seat, back on the road. And hopefully I'll see you a little ways down the road here into Iowa. Okay, agents. After 2 hours of driving and only a couple of stops to refill on tea, and apparently a case of the hiccups, which just started, we are at the campsite. Munchkin's happy about it, right? Yeah. It's very good to be done for the day. It was a long one. I believe the fields over Nebraska are back up already, and yeah, it's before the 5 p.m. checkpoint. So there was the noon checkpoint, which had less fields, and now the 5 p.m. checkpoint, it'll just be back up. So good job to the enlightened here or there in Nebraska. Obviously, I'm no longer in Nebraska. I'm in Iowa, so that's all well and good. I'm just outside of Des Moines. Tomorrow we'll head to Albert Lea, back to Minnesota. Thank goodness. It'll be good to be back in my home state. Certainly love that. I think, and then after that, home. So I'll be glad to be home as well, and I'm sure Munchkin will be also. Just to address sort of the comments that I've been receiving from She's a Hulk, who I gave an agent card, and obviously she scanned it and everything. Because there's now a QR code on my bio cards that people can use to get to my YouTube channel. First, thank you for watching, and I certainly appreciate your thoughts. Specifically, I think I mentioned earlier in the video that She's a Hulk had asked me, what do you think about the fields? And I said, well, it's not really my style. Like, I don't like them very much. I think I said that they were sloppy and skinny, and that's objectively true. They are fairly skinny. They do cover Lincoln, so I'm not saying that they aren't big. And I mentioned that in the comments, so definitely kudos to the agents who do this field. Like, they definitely are dedicated, and they have worked very hard to make that field happen, but it's just, it's not the field that I would throw. That's all I was saying. So, sorry if you took that as a negative thing. I respect the effort. I respect the hustle. Obviously, I took down all the fields, and y'all threw it back right away. So, very, very happy with that. I think that y'all are doing a great job. And like I said in the comments, it's not my job to tell you how to have fun. It's a game. So if this is what you enjoy doing, then that's great. It's just not what I would enjoy doing. That's all I was saying. That rambling explanation aside, the other thing I wanted to say is I did have a fairly brief but a good conversation with She's a Hulk, where she was saying that there were a number of resistance agents who were skirting the rules of the game, and that she'd gotten a few of them banned, and that's good. Anybody who is breaking the rules of the game, I'm glad to see out of the game. Obviously, all of us who are playing the game the way it's meant to be played, we would like to see, cheaters not prosper. That being said, I then heard some rumors that one of the accounts that was talking to me in comms was maybe Shiza's backpack account. And if that's the case, and I'm not sure that it is, so I'm not accusing anybody here, but I would say that, that great conversation that we had, Shiza, where you were talking about people playing the game the right way and not cheating. Let's keep it that way. So, on that note, it was a good day. It was a long day, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results. Ultimately, I think it was an experience that I had to have. Having given that I was in Nebraska, that I was under that green field, I feel like I needed to try to take it down, and I did, but obviously, not to much avail. So. But good news, my other fields are still up. The 1.4 million that I threw down to Tucumcari and Vernon, Texas, or Tucumcari, New Mexico, and Vernon, Texas from Kansas, that's still up. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself, even though it's not 13 million MU. It's still pretty big MU that has lasted for, I think now 6, maybe 7 checkpoints. So. Yeah, or no, that's not right. It'll be 5 checkpoints at 5, so, no, wait, that can't be right either. It's gonna be 6 checkpoints at 5. I'm getting all discombobulated, as evidenced by the fact that I have no numbers for you for today. I'm going to figure out what my unique visits were, and I will make sure to include that in the beginning of the next video, but right now I have to edit this video and get it out, so that my streak remains alive. Speaking of, yeah, I should probably also record a gaming video, but I'm just so beat after all of that driving around to take down those green fields. It took so long. I think tomorrow is going to be a much chiller day. But with that, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. It looks like that. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's how you know when the next video comes out. And say hello to Munchkin in the comments. He deserves it for, what is this, 37, 38 days now on the road. He's put up with so much of my nonsense. And, as Shiza did, any feedback that you have about my videos or about the Ingress stuff that I do or whatever, I'm happy to hear it. And in the description, you'll find a link to my Patreon page where you can support me for $5 a month. I'd really appreciate it, as I don't have a job right now. So that would make sure that I can continue doing Ingress stuff full time. And yeah, I'd really appreciate it. And finally, there's also a link in the description to my gaming channel, which, as I said, I should record a video for, but I've been so tired the last couple of days, so I probably won't. Might be a couple of days. Maybe I'll just start recording again when I get home. But there is a huge backlog of videos of other video games if you are into that sort of thing. And with that, agents, thank you all once again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.